second place has unfortunately unraveled, and they are now down outside of the podium.
Oh, absolute heartbreak there for them. We thought they had a chance to be able to make it, but just couldn't eke out that fuel. Looks like Wookie Racing, though, really calling that strategy right. And as we said, only about 2.5 seconds off of Exchange. And with Exchange running a little bit of slower laps there, it could be up for grabs.
But our leader comes along the Ullman Straight past all the RVs, heading up towards Sunset Bend. Sunset is long since passed here. We are just past 10 p.m. virtual standard time, and he takes the white flag. Someone behind him has to pit in. That's Tong in the Black Flagmeister car, who is going to be pitting into the 96. Couldn't make it to the finish without an extra stop. 1 to go for the 84 machine, and as behind him, Joe Stiffel comes onto the Ullman Straight. Rootsitas doesn't seem to have the pace to try and run them down. They are falling behind. It was at 2 seconds before. It is now up to 3 seconds. Did they not make it enough on the fuel?
I'm trying to listen to him here. It looks like there may be a little bit of lifting and coasting out of that car, but I would have to think they could make it work. Obviously, it was Chan that was able to make that mega stint work on the first lap, but Leon Rootsitas still has a lap to go to try to make it. He may have underfueled as he's going to be finishing on 27 laps on that tank.
What a performance from our leaders here in this race. And actually, I believe in the case of Chris Pies and Randy Teague, they have officially won already because they're a full lap ahead. They don't even have to finish this lap, and so they will still be scored ahead of those behind. But I'm sure they'll come to that checkered flag anyways. And Travis Brody, who has finished up this race with Jacob Schum in that JRT 84, maybe felt the pressure, maybe he didn't. Hard to say until we get to chat with him. Whatever the case, he definitely stood and rose to the occasion. And as he comes onto the Ullman Straight, this is it. It is now nearly a quarter of a lap ahead of their nearest rival. In fact, more than a quarter of a lap to the nearest car behind them on the timing screen. So the JRT Racing Team 84 with Travis Brody and Jacob Schum behind the wheel in the second round of the Team Racing Series presented by Porsche Exchange is going to be won by the JRT Racing Team.
A great drive there from Schum and Brody to be able to put that car where they needed to. Absolutely incredible, maximizing on strategy and making it work here today.
Stiffel just coming on to the backstretch, but it is Chris Pies who is going to be up next of our winners. Imperial Motorsports Shake with James Huth running the middle stint, and Chris the beginning and end, and he is going to end with a win by a full lap here in the open class. And up next, Randy Teague and Star Racing comes around through the last few corners.
Indeed they do. That arguably has been the most dominant car out there today, able to win yet again by a full lap, the 24.
As they fly down the Ullman Straight, Three Stooges was the nearest one in that 42 machine. A full lap behind. They can actually see them up the roads. They're a lap and maybe just a few hundred feet difference between them. And unfortunately, we have to report that Wookie Racing will not see the checkered flag as they had a disconnect, but no such danger for Star Racing. Randy Teague was given the car and he delivered with a win for that 24 team. Amazing stuff there between our three classes. Let's head through our finishing results as JRT went from the front row to take a victory here today. Exchange Motorsports was P2. His matrix green was third. E2 JR Motorsports P4, followed by Wookie Racing, going to be scored in fifth, it looks like, after that disconnect. Utter disappointment, I'm sure. Marble Motors P6 as Matrix Purple, the first one lap down, was seventh. Black Flagmeister eighth, and Flying Line Racing ninth.
In the open category, it was Imperial Motorsports Shake that was able to take the victory by an entire lap over Albano Competizione. Celtic Racing rounding out your top 3 podium positions. Black Flagmeister Noe was in 4th overall, with Spanners Motorsports and Team Doritos rounding out that field. In the GT4 category, it was Star Racing, followed by Three Stooges Racing, with Dreadnought Racing in your top 3. 208 Racing Green team had a very, very strong run in the middle of the stint, but not able to capitalize there. They finished 4th. Backmarker Motorsports was 5th, followed by Mach Schnell Motorsports, your winners from last time out. Alcaru Racing, Los Muchachos Motorsports had that incident earlier on. Then Anchors Away, Team Chillax Racing, and Team 1 rounds out your field on the day. And with that, we are able to be joined by our GT3 winners, Mr. Travis Brody and excuse me, I think we've got Chris Pies, our open class winners here. Chris, you absolutely dominated it out there today. It sounded like you had confidence from beginning to end. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, it was a good race. My co-driver Jim and I, we held it together, had a plan, and executed on it. We did a great job to bring home the win in open class.
Well,
Indeed.
yeah, Jim, I was just going to ask you, we didn't get to talk to you. We talked to you a little bit there early on. Any nerves coming into those final stints, guys?
No, I don't think so. We were just having fun. You asked me the difference between, doing the Nordschleife 24 and doing this. And the difference is with that big public 24-hour race with all the other drivers in there, you form a core good relationship with your team, where in PCA Sim Racing, you get the same thing with the entire field. It's just fun to be a part of.
Well, indeed. And, as this race went along and it looked more and more confident that you guys were going to win this thing, did you have a moment where you went, yeah, this one is ours, or were you always a little bit trepidatious?
We were picking other goals that were not really race related within our realm.
Yeah, it felt pretty good when I was driving around at the end there and I could see P2 in front of me. So I knew we were pretty comfortable at that point.
Well, I have to ask you guys, looking ahead, we go to the Glen next. Do you think you can continue your strong performance there?
Yeah, we can certainly try. If I'm not here, Leaf or somebody else will be running, I'm sure.
Well, guys, a victory in class here today in the very competitive Open Championship. Anybody you would like to thank?
Big shout out to Porsche Exchange, you guys at Podium, and all the PCA steering committee members, Doug Atkinson. Thanks for everything you do and putting on a great show. Appreciate it.
Indeed. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That was James Huth and Christopher Pies, your winner in the Open Cup class here today. And now we are lucky enough to be joined by the JRT Racing team of Travis Brody and Jacob Schum. Guys, talk me through those final laps. I guess to you, Travis, that chase down was incredible.
Yeah, man, that was tough, but I knew I could see him up there, and I wasn't really sure what their pit strategy was. I was just so focused on driving, so I just went for it, and it's like, I'm going to pass them, and if they have to pit, then okay, but if not, I need to pass them on track anyways, and somehow I was just putting laps together and made it happen, and was able to kind of catch them. Got a little unlucky with traffic a few times. It was like starting to come down to the wire. I was starting to feel a little stressed. I was like, man, I got to get by. And finally made it happen going into turn 3, I think it was. And it was just keep the car on the track from there.
Well, and Jacob, I want to turn to you in that the early stints that you were running. You guys started on the podium. You always seemed in contention there. Were you fighting for the win the entire time, or early on was it a little bit of just sort of management and keeping things together?
So we initially started in second. So I knew, because we were planning to run a completely different strategy than most other teams. So we tried to use it to our advantage, and not take tires and take like a shorter second stint, and that worked out in the end for us. So we were realistically aiming for P2, but it's awesome that we came away with the win.
Well, it was a fantastic win in a hard charge. I have to ask, were you guys worried about fuel at any point during that race? It looked like a lot of people had some problems.
Not really. I mean, we kind of knew we were going to do this, the weird halfway stop, and kind of put it off strategy, but, or put it, strategy to everybody else. But I don't think, Jacob and I never really talked about worrying about being out of fuel or anything. Towards the end, I was hoping I had enough. I fuel saved a little bit, but then I was looking at the numbers and it seemed fine. Like I had plenty. So I just kept my foot in it. I think, Jacob was able to do the same. And there's a few laps at the very end of his stint, to get a full another lap out of it. Cause he was pretty close. And then, but I think really that was all the fuel saving we were really worried about.
Well, you guys absolutely played it to a T then. Is there anybody you would like to thank for this victory today?
I'll let Jacob go first.
I'd like to thank my family, my mom Cecilia, my dad Jonathan, my sister Coco. I'd like to thank Team Sim Racing, and also to my teammates Travis and Raphael.
Yeah, I wish Raphael was here to share this with us. I know he's watching. He's on an airplane traveling for work, so he wasn't able to be here. But I have to give a huge shout out to Dewey Kang. He helped with the setup of the car. The car was incredible. Dewey, you did a just perfect job with the setup. It couldn't have been any better. So huge shout out to him. And then Jacob, he was the one that kind of thought about the strategy and put all that together and really manages the team. So other than that, I got my code engineer over here, my dog with me, and she helped me make it happen.
Yeah, huge shout out to Dewey. Thanks for the setup.
Well, congratulations to both of you guys once again. So that was Jacob Schum and Travis Brody, your winners in the GC3 category. And finally, we are joined by Randy Teague and Shaibal Bandiopaje. Guys, that's a little bit of redemption for you. At least it's got to feel that way after disappointment in Road America.
Yeah, definitely. We just kind of stuck to the same strategies last time. Just try to, get a big lead and then just keep it clean after that. Didn't work out at Road America, but it did here. So pretty happy.
Yeah. Shaibal gave me a giant lead. All I had to do was stay clean in the dark.
Well, I was gonna ask you, Randy, how hard was that? We got two classes of faster cars coming up behind you, and it looked like you were just absolutely expertly managing pace. But how much were you sweating behind the wheel?
A little bit. Shaibal was doing a great job spotting me, and the only time that I got a little nervous was turn one. It's really hard to spot how that curves around at the first turn. But the rest of it, I was comfortable with as long as Shaibal was there covering for me.
Well, you guys clearly make a fantastic team together. Obviously, great job here. Road America, not the best day. What can we expect from you at Watkins Glen?
Well, I suspect we're going to have more of our team members who weren't available today. So hopefully a little bit more of the same today. We can kind of keep it on track like we did today.
Shaibal, any predictions?
Pretty much the same strategy going in, and we got a good group of guys. So I don't see as long as there's no issues, we should be good.
Well, fantastic. We wish you guys all the luck in the world there when we head into it. Anybody you would like to thank here for this dominant victory today?
Definitely want to thank you guys for putting on a great show. PCA for setting all this up for us. My teammate, all the drivers making this exciting, and gotta definitely thank my wife for letting me disappear for a Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Porsche Exchange as well for the sponsorship, and the same thing, my wife and my family for putting up with me, not just for today, but in general with this.
Well, thank you guys, and congratulations once again. That was your winners there, Star Racing in the GT4 category. We'd also like to give a special shout out and a special award presented by the Porsche Exchange to Wookie Racing. Liam Rutsidas there and Nikki Chan winning that award here tonight. So congratulations to them. Well, folks, that's about going to wrap things up for us here tonight. We'll see you next time for Season 8 at 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday, April 13th, live here on Podium Esports. Thank you so much to our sponsor, Porsche Exchange, and a big thank you to the steering committee at PCA Racing, and an equally big thank you to the team here tonight, Joe, Rachel, Michael, Ryan, Cameron, and Dougie. Also, none of this is possible without those behind the scenes at Podium Esports, Ryan Bauer, Gary Sexton, and John Theodore. Thank you so much for watching today's broadcast of PCA Sim Racing presented by Porsche Exchange. I'm DJ Clark, and until we see you on the track, thanks for watching.